friends, how are you? So I need to fangirl somewhere and I'm going to do it here. So this video is just me fangirling, okay? So in the past few weekends I went to Rio. You can see some things that I filmed there here. Just go check it out. I spent the weekend in the Daydream event and it was so good. Basically, I went to this event to meet Ian Somerhalder, Paul Wesley, and Kat Cram, and I also went there to draw because my sister made the exhibition of her drawings there, so we got this whole space for us. But that's not what I'm going to talk about right now. In this event, I got the opportunity to talk with the actors, so I'm going to tell you everything right now. So Saturday, the first thing that I got was a photo with Kat. So I went to my queue and I was so nervous. I was literally shaking and my hands were cold because I was so nervous. The queue was walking really fast and I got even more nervous because of it. My time was coming and when I got into the room where she was and I looked at her, oh my god, she is right there in front of me. She is gorgeous. She's so beautiful. When it was my time, I didn't know what to tell her, what to say. She looked at me and said, oh my god, so pretty. I'm still not over it, to be honest. And then I hugged her and she said, oi, tudo bem? Which means, hi, how are you in Portuguese? And I was like, oh, I'm fine, thanks, how are you? And she was like, I'm good. So we took a picture here. Oh my god, I still can't believe this happened. I hugged her again and I left and I was, oh my god, did that happen? So the next thing was a panel with Paul and he was so cute and so amazing. After the panel, I got the photo with Paul and Ian and I was not as nervous as I was before with Kat. I hugged Paul first and we took the picture. Ian hugged me and I said thank you so much for everything and it was so kind and nice with me. So after that it was a panel with Ian and after that it was a panel with Kat. After all the panels it was time for the signing. Ian was in the side of the room and Paul was in the opposite side of it and right there sitting in the floor next to Ian, it was me. And right there, sitting next to Paul in the floor, it was Phoebe. So when I got into this room, I freaked out. I couldn't believe it. Oh my god, I can't. When it was my time with Ian, I gave him a t-shirt, this t-shirt. And I said that I painted to him and I hope he likes it. And he was like, oh my god, amazing, I loved it. And then he did this. I stayed some seconds looking at his hand before I gave the high five. And I was looking, I just high-fived Ian Somerhalder. Oh my god. After that, I gave a drawing. He said that it was amazing and it is really good and he loved it. And here it is, the signed drawing. To the kiwi, I gave him a t-shirt, this shirt, and I say that I call him Little Panda, and then he took the shirt and he was looking at it for 20 seconds, and then he looked at me and he smiled and he said, but why Little Panda? And I was, oh, I don't know, it's because you're so cute. And then he smiled so big and he said, you're so sweet, and I'm dead, I can't. And then I showed him the drawing that I did for him and he signed it. He said it is so good and it's amazing and I was still not over the so sweet part. Okay, when I was leaving he looked at me again, he smiled and he winked at me and oh my god. Sunday, the next day, I went there and I was feeling a little more calm because almost everything that I had to do with the actors I had done in the first day, so it was more painless and things like that. The only thing that I had to do with a actor, it was a signing with Kat. I gave her the shirt that I did for her, and she said, "Oh my god, that's so great, that's amazing, I'm gonna fucking wear it." And I was like smiling so big, "I'm glad you like it." And she opened her arms and she said, "Give me a hug." And I again stayed some seconds looking at her, processing that she wants me to hug her, and then of course I hugged her and I was so happy. And after that I gave the drawing and she said it is really good and she loved it, and then she signed it for me. And when the day was over, I was kind of sad it was over, but kind of relieved that everything went super well. I loved it. It was one of the best weekends ever, and that is it. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to fangirl about, because I really needed to talk about this, okay? And yeah, if you liked it, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you are not yet, and I will see you next week. Bye! But that's not what I'm gonna talk about.